Have you ever noticed that the more competent you are, the heavier your life feels? It's the curse of the high achiever. You see the problem before anyone else does, and you know you can fix it faster. And so, you do. But there's a very thin line between being the most capable person in the room and being the person everyone has subconsciously decided to offload their stress onto. Today, we're going to talk about why your competency has become your cage and how to stop being the emotional power grid for everyone else's problems. You are not responsible for everything. Even if you are the most competent person in the room, even if you see the problem before anyone else does, even if you would absolutely do it better and solve it faster than anyone else. Now, if your immediate reaction to hearing this was,
Well, someone has to.
perfect, you're in the right spot. Today, we're going to go over the third step of the return method. We have already gone through R and E. R, recognize the reflex. And E, exhale the urgency. Today, we're going to go over the third step. T, tell the truth about responsibility. Some concepts might be a bit familiar because I touched on it a little bit in my last video, and you can find that video right here. But we're going to get more in depth to it in this video. There's a lie high achieving women quietly believe.
If I don't handle it, it won't get handled.
Is that true? Or has that thought been reinforced for so long that it feels like it's true? I know sometimes that feels very true. You may work with people who are slower, less organized, or even less productive than you are. May have built an entire career on anticipating problems and fixing them before anyone else even sees them. That level of competence is impressive. But competence can create a trap because when you're highly capable, the line between I can do this and I should do this start to disappear. Competence does not equal obligation. Just because you can do something does not mean you should do it. If that sentence made you a little uncomfortable, if you're thinking,
Yes, in theory. But in real life, things fall apart if I don't step in.
good, now stay with me here. High capacity, overachieving women are often surrounded by people who have quietly learned that if they hesitate long enough, you will step in. It's not malicious, it's adaptive. Humans naturally offload their most difficult activities to the most stable person or system in the room. And if you're that stable person, congratulations. You are the emotional power grid, and everything plugs into you. When you step in automatically, you reinforce the pattern. You teach people that you'll catch it, that you'll fix it, that you'll anticipate it, that you'll absorb the emotional load because you're excellent. I mean, they're not wrong, but then you'll feel resentful and confused and a little superior, which is a very interesting emotional cocktail. Let's talk about the deeper fear underneath all of this, because the real fear isn't about the task itself. The deeper fear is,
If I stop carrying all of this, what will happen to my value?
if you have built your entire identity around being the reliable one, the strong one, the competent one, then letting things go can feel a little dangerous. Because if you're not indispensable, Who are you? Let me say this gently. Being indispensable is not the same as being powerful. Indispensable means if she leaves, everything collapses. But powerful means the system runs because she designed it well. One requires you to constantly hold, the other requires you to build. Overfunctioning women often confuse holding with leading because holding feels very active. Now, I want to introduce you to something I call the responsibility filter. It's 4 questions that I ask myself before I pick up something or volunteer myself for something. I want you to run through these 4 questions whenever you have that urge to just jump in. The first question is, was this explicitly assigned to me? Now, does that sound a little familiar? Was this explicitly assigned to me? Not implied, not silently expected, not something you noticed and volunteered for before anyone else could think. Was it clearly assigned to you? If the answer is no, then pause. Your reflex will probably want to jump in anyway, but remember, that's the pattern we're interrupting. The second question is, does this belong to my actual role? Not your unofficial role, not your emotional support role, your defined role. Many high achieving women carry work that is technically outside of their scope because they can. But every time you do that, you dilute your energy. And then you're wondering why you're exhausted and why your days feel so heavy. It's because you're working 3 invisible jobs. The third question I want you to ask is, am I stepping in to reduce my own discomfort? This one. This one is very important. Sometimes we intervene not because it's necessary, but because watching someone struggle makes us uncomfortable. Ambiguity makes us uncomfortable. Inefficiency makes us uncomfortable. Silence makes us uncomfortable. So we step in. But here's the truth. Your discomfort is not an emergency. I know it can feel like it is, but it's not. And the fourth question is, what happens if I don't? This question terrifies us overachievers because in our mind, we immediately jump to worst case scenarios.
If I don't fix it, the whole thing will fall apart.
Maybe. Or maybe someone else will step up. Or maybe it will take slightly longer. Or maybe the issue will resolve itself. We have to separate the imagined collapse from the actual risk. Now, let's talk about something slightly uncomfortable. Overachieving can feel morally superior. You're the one who sees everything, who anticipates everything, who protects everyone. It feels noble, responsible, even virtuous. But underneath that nobility, there's often a quiet cost. Because the more you carry automatically, the less choice you actually have. And leadership without choice is not leadership. It's compulsion. And compulsion eventually leads to burnout. Now, let me add one more thing. This is not about swinging to the other extreme. We are not becoming detached. We're not weaponizing boundaries. We're not saying, not my problem, with an icy superiority complex. We are just recalibrating. You can be deeply responsible without being chronically over responsible. There is a difference. And mature leadership lives in that difference. Here's your practice this week. Before you say yes, before you fix it, before you volunteer yourself, before you intercept a problem that isn't yours, run it through the responsibility filter. Was it assigned to me? Is it truly part of my role? Am I stepping in to soothe my own discomfort? What happens if I don't handle it? If it passes the filter, carry it fully. If it doesn't, pause. Let someone else step into the space and notice what happens. You might discover something surprising. The world keeps turning. Your competence doesn't disappear, and your energy starts returning to the places where it actually belongs. If this hits something inside you, comment "return" below. Because naming the lie is powerful. And because this series is not for everyone. It's for high capacity women who are ready to lead without self-abandonment. In the next video, we're going to look at something most high achieving women avoid at all costs. The cost of staying in this pattern, the real one. And once you see it, it becomes so much easier to choose something different. And I'll see you there. Bye-bye.